Hey, haven't you been wanting to start a podcast?
Yeah, but doesn't it take a lot to make one?
Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's free, and it's the easiest way to make a podcast. On top of that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Oh, that sounds amazing. But doesn't it take a lot of work to put my podcast on different platforms?
Actually, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
That sounds fantastic.
On top of that, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So where do I get started?
Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here with Liz.
Hey!
And if it's your first time listening, you're always welcome to like or subscribe. It's free, and you can always unfollow or unsubscribe. And if you're here live, why is my camera acting? We are
I don't know.
Did I go dark for a second?
No? Well, a little bit for a second, but it flips back into light.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you know what? I know what I did. I did the lights not whatever. So we're doing a live episode. Hello, anyone.
Our first one.
The first one. So if you were paying attention to our last week's episode, we're gonna do for the month of July. We're gonna be doing live episodes. So keep an eye on the Discord channel or on Instagram or on Facebook, because on Facebook I think we're going to be posting them. We're going to go live, and we'll have somewhat of a schedule, but we'll do our best. We're going to be trying different things. I know looks a little bit funky, but you know, we're trying different things.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
yeah. So we'll let more of you guys come in. We might even answer a few questions from chat. But for now, yeah. So Liz, how you been?
I've been okay. I have been struggling for sure with work. Work's been chaotic, but up and down for sure. Somebody decided to go on leave after being there for like a couple months, so not too happy about it right now. But oi, what do you do, right?
Yeah, it's so frustrating when it's a work thing, right? We're all supposed to do our best to accommodate everyone, but there's always that like one individual that just throws a wrench in everyone's head.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we lost our person who was potentially covering our overnight shifts, and then they quit like 6 days into their stretch, and they're like, "Yeah, this is not for me." What? Could you have let us know, like, I don't know, 3 days prior?
Or something, right?
Like 3 days in, like 3 or 4 days, you should have let us know. And I mean, it's not. I've done the night overnights. They suck a little bit, but they're always constantly moving, so there's nothing to stop you. We're actually hiring, hopefully, for another body to kind of help out with that overnight and the late person. So they're a little later than the late person, but hey, it will help out in the long run.
You know what's funny is we recently also hired 2 more people. Here's how.
Oh, sweet.
Here's hoping people to stay. I just don't know. It's one of those things where, okay, you know what's really bugging me? The lighting. I've never.
The lighting is bugging.
A little bit. I've never really had this issue when I've been streaming, but I don't know why it's acting. Whatever. It's one of those things that. Hello. We have some.
Hello, people. Sweet.
It's one of those things where I just don't understand people. We want like more people to get hired, and some people are like, we have one employee right now who's happy that we're getting new people, but he's worried about his hours. He's new. He's just been with us for about 2 months, And you just wonder, he's wondering, like, is he going to have his hours? And I told him this, pretty simple. As long as you do the job and show that you are willing to work, we'll be able to help you provide the necessary hours to live in this day and age as best we can.
I know, right? I know, I get it.
And
but also, you know, he has a little bit of seniority too over those people. He's consistently showed up for 2 months, right?
Exactly. That's the other thing I told him. Like, he's already noticed a couple of people have not been properly like showing up to work, like, or not meeting basic expectations, and he's been wondering, like, is this how work is? Like, no, don't follow them. You're doing good. We told him already, like, you're doing good. Just keep doing what you're doing. Improve the little things we need you to improve on, and you won't have to worry about nothing.
There we go. Good. It's cool.
All right. So let's kind of jump into some of these stories. So last week's episode was pretty heavy-handed, so for anyone who did not enjoy that episode, we do apologize. But, you know, it's like we were saying, there was a lot to talk about. And we needed to
I'm so dreading this is going to be a Handmaid's Tale. Oh, it is literally the start of it all.
You should just you need to buy yourself a Handmaid's Tale costume and just wear it during the podcast for lives.
I know, right?
That'll be so funny. You got.
I'm an incubator.
You got
second class citizen.
Actually, how much is that? Maybe we can get it for the
It's probably expensive now because like everybody's like in uproar about it.
Handmaid's Tale costume. Come on, we can get it from the podcast fund.
Okay, everybody who's listening and watching, who wants me in a Handmaid's Tale?
That's not bad. It's only $30.
I was telling out there $30. I thought it would be up in price considering like everybody want to be in uproar about it.
It depends how expensive, detailed you want it. There's a deluxe Handmaid's Tale costume for like $80.
What?
You know, it depends, and you know, but you're looking roughly between $30 to $40 for an average one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep what my sexy lingerie I have underneath. I'm just saying, I'm not going down to granny panties and wireless bras.
So anyways, so yeah, that'll be funny. Okay, let's find some of these stories here. Let's see here.
We have quite a few.
Let's start with this.
I've been posting back and forth.
There's two that are really interesting. Let's start with the where are you? The crash that happened.
The crash?
The one with the trailer?
Oh, the 30 years apart one?
What?
That one?
No.
Well, you tell me, man.
The date's from the 28th.
Okay, so 7-1.
While you're hunting that
I watch you. Yeah. Oh wait, I see. Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yes.
So, we're gonna talk about here. Horrific human tragedy. 50 dead after trailer with migrants found in San Antonio. So, let's find out. I kind of looked a little bit into it, but I haven't fully read the story. So down in San Antonio, 50 people have died after being abandoned in a tractor trailer in the sweltering Texas heat. One of the worst tragedies to claim the lives of migrant smugglings across the border from Mexico to the U.S. More than dozens of people have been taken to the hospitals, including 4 children. A city worker at the scene was alerted to the situation by a cry for help shortly before 6 p.m. Monday, Police Chief William McCannis said officers arrived to find a body on the ground outside the trailer and partially opened the gates to the trailer, he said. Let's see here. Of the 16 taken to the hospital with heat-related illness, 12 were adults and 4 were children, said the fire chief, Charles Hood. The patients were hot to the touch and dehydrated, and no water was found in the trailer. For now, we'll keep reading in a little bit. But yeah, so basically there was like, if we're gonna do our coyote plan that we were talking about in last week, we gotta have a better system than these people did, because
honestly, but they obviously wanted to steal the money too. And
So
gone.
it does mention a little bit that they arrested 3 people. We'll find out more in a little bit.
Which is good.
We'll find out a little bit more, but goddamn, like I wish they. It's probably deeper in the episode on the article, but it's crazy to see like, was the trailer abandoned? Did it say, or was it just tipped over?
I said abandoned.
Abandoned, yeah. So how many people? 50?
He literally took the truck, unhooked it, and left it there in the sweltering heat.
Oh damn.
That's how I'm understanding it.
Okay,
yeah,
let's see here.
It was being abandoned in a tractor trailer.
Okay, so 3 people were taken into custody, but it was unclear if they were absolutely connected with the human trafficking. So they don't even know, huh?
Nope.
Okay, let's find out more. Those in the trailer were part of the presumed migrant smuggling attempts into the United States, and the investigation was being led by the Homeland Security. Okay. Attempts. Anything else? Article. Asylum. Nothing else. Nothing really more to add. It's just some really.
They're just seeing a big surge about it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, just some, like, for sure, when putting your trust on coyotes, you have to really be careful when handling things like that. Because you're just putting your life on the line you're giving your life to someone else at that point, right?
But also the fact that I know that, in New Mexico, it's a lot of money to do with those coyotes too. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of money. And so the fact that these coyotes are making easy money, they could easily do that to people. Kill them and be like, well, I got the money, I'm good, bye. Just abandon them like nothing. Yeah. It's one of the things that you're like, oh, well, it does happen. I know. All right. It's truly really sad, yeah. It's honestly, I could never think of things like doing that. Like we were joking about doing the migrant thing for the whole abortion thing, but like what's the price you put on people's lives sometimes? Yeah. Like, because worth it though, because once you kill them, I mean, you're going to hell.
I don't know. Well, that's your thoughts. But,
that's my thought. Is like they're going to go to hell. So,
how much money would that be? Actually, 50 people.
It depends on who the
50. So it's roughly, if I remember right, it's between $5,000 to $10,000 a person to get.
Things are going to change with the inflation, so.
True. We'll say 5,000 a person, right? 5 times 50. Okay. That's $25,000.
That's like halfway through a college fund right there. Or a nice 20% down payment on a house.
Maybe I would need at least 100,000 to abandon people, minimum.
I have to do $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah, $1 million. Have a good lawyer.
I don't know how well you could get away with smuggling, but well, don't.
I could suck majorly.
A couple good lawyers actually would do well. We've talked about some good lawyers. Yeah, you can get some good lawyers for $1 mil. But okay, so let's continue on. Let's see here. Let's go one that's closer to your side. Your sister, who's a flight attendant. There's an airport one.
There's quite a couple actually. I don't know which one you want to relate it to.
Let's do the one from the 30th.
Okay. Okay, I was just in there. Oh yeah, the one I posted. Okay.
And then we'll do the second one.
An American Airlines passenger drove to Denver airport to rebook his seats after an airline's customer service center left him on hold for nearly 4 hours. Before we get further, I can attest to this. This was like ridiculous. Back when, what was it? In late February, early March, when we had that really nasty weather, right, through the Midwest, when we were going to New Orleans. Of course, we got rerouted, and my mom was on the hold for like 2 hours before we actually had talked to anybody. So, and that was like from 4 o'clock in the morning. My mom knew, so till about 6:30 in the morning, which I woke up at that time. So, ouch, yeah. So I totally get it. I totally get it. But that's the price of not having enough people, staffing.
So yeah, so continue.
An American Airlines passenger was spent nearly 4 hours on hold while the airline customer service center grew so frustrated he drove 45 minutes to the airport to rebook his seats at the ticket counter. Brian Driver, a radio station manager, needed to rebook his flight home after a business trip to dinner ended early. The Wall Street Journal reported. He said he initially tried to switch his flight using the airline's mobile service, and the website was unable to do so. He then called the airline's customer service center and was given a call back time of 8 hours, according to the Journal. Eventually, he spoke to. Yeah, you can have a callback, but it can be up to 8 hours, almost 24
no, okay,
hours.
never mind. I thought he was on hold.
Yeah, there were several times where I had to change flights in the last, 9 months, and I'd be on hold for almost 24 hours. So I'd just say, hey, give me a call back, and they would call you back. But sometimes it wouldn't happen until the next day, and almost later into the afternoon. So,
like callbacks, I understand callbacks. I never when you say like, oh, we'll get back to you in an hour.
Well, it keeps you a place in line. You move up when people move up, but because, yeah, it's shitty, and people, have to sleep too. Eventually, he spoke to agent via the airline chat platform and experienced further difficulty choosing his seats, according to the publication. Driver tried calling the airline again the next day, but was told to try again later. The lines were busy, the Journal said. When he tried again the following morning, he spent 3 hours and 45 minutes on hold. Eventually, growing so frustrated, he drove 45 minutes to rebook his seats at the ticket counter at the Denver International Airport. Yep. Make your flights, bitches. It's going to get worse. This has been far worst airline call center experience I've ever had, Driver told the Journal. A spokesperson for American Airlines told Insider that weather and air traffic control issues were beyond long mid-June hold times, the highest the airline has ever seen in the past several weeks. These challenges, combined with an anomaly in the customer's booking, resulted in an experience what did not meet what we aim to deliver for our customers, the airline said. Our hold times for all our customers were now significantly lower than they were in the middle of the month. To support high summer demand, we welcomed hundreds of additional reservation agents this spring in anticipation of the season. They're not taking account for not enough hires.
It's just staffing. It's the same
staffing.
thing.
It's not enough staffing, and then not enough flights. Do you know how many flights were canceled?
Oh God, so many.
In the last,
so much.
2 months.
Oh, actually, there's another story we can talk about in a second that adds on to this, but it's ridiculous. Like here's my question to you: what's the longest you have ever been on hold? Like you sat on you had to
on
hold, not callback, hold.
Oh God!
Like you said I'm gonna be on hold until I talk to someone. Because I can tell you the longest I've ever been.
45 minutes to an hour.
That's the longest you've ever been on hold? I
think so.
Okay, I've been on hold for a solid 4 hours.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying some with the agency you were on phone
with. It was something. I at this point I don't remember. It was so frustrating because it was one of those times where I put in for my callback, never called back. 2 callbacks, nothing. And then it was also one of those times where at that point, you just gotta go on hold. You hold it, mute my mic, and put it on speaker and wait until someone answers them. And you know what? After that, if I'm remembering correctly, after that, it was literally going on to the next. Sent me to a different phone number. That's ridiculous. For all those 4 hours, 2 callbacks that didn't get called back, and 4 hours on hold to get another number to call.
No, it's ridiculous. It's the wait times are, but there's not enough staffing. Nobody wants to work, and I don't understand. Most of these people could actually work from home. This is like a thing you could do from.
It's a call center job. As long as you have like a application or a thing where you have just here's the like a lot of companies have applications that make it when you log in, you have all your stuff, kind of like a Discord that calls out, and then you're good to go. I don't know. I think people are like, I think we've talked. There's a lot of people just trying to get back into the come back to work mentality, and some for sure, some jobs for sure need to be in. You have to be in there, but a call center job now.
Yeah.
Like,
that can be done from anywhere.
Like, honestly,
I mean, how many times I've been on at the work at the pharmacy, waiting on call for mail order pharmacies, and I could hear children in the background, family members. I mean, like, it's common. It's not uncommon, and I just kind of go, okay, whatever. At least I'm getting my, I'm talking to somebody, and I'm actually getting what I need from that person for this, my patient I'm working on. So. I mean, it's not. I just wish that people want to have the drive to work. I mean, it's frustrating all the way around. I mean, my cousin does it for another airline, and she's top manager, so she can, she'll get on if they need her to be. But other than that,
but it shouldn't be. It's one of those things where it shouldn't. You should be able to hire the people to help delegate some of that and not like jump into it. Actually, you know what's funny? What's funny talking about management? Recently, some of our supervisors for the store. Mm-hmm. So for the most part, if you're remembering when you used to work there was people who supervised everyone else, right? And they normally would have to have a reasonable availability to be able to like rotate through all the other supervisors, right? So like there's people available. There's one specific supervisor I talk with, and he told me he just came back from vacation, and he told me that when he got back, everyone like put in their new availability, and no one can close the store but him, because no one else wants to close the store.
Wow, that's crazy.
And one of the newest individuals was so upset that he was forced to close for 5 days straight that he went to management saying, why did I have to close while the other guy had vacation?
Okay, so the other guy had vacation. Duh. I mean, I get vacations. There's going to be vacations coming up left and right this summer, and I'm just going, okay, that's my schedule. That's just how it goes. Like, I know I have a full solid medrec, shift for a week, and I'm just like, okay, it is what it is, There's nothing I can do about it. So, I can't complain. That's because somebody has to take that vacation. Of course, coming up to my sister's wedding, they're gonna have to be covering my shifts. So
exactly.
I was thinking I'd be covering at least a couple before they do it, but nope, they're going straight through. I'm like, all right.
That's all you can do. But yeah, it was so ridiculous listening to this. Like, how can someone mostly when you're like you're not management, you're not upper management, you're like below, you're a supervisor, a sub management, and yet you still have the gall to like, yeah, I can't work these times, and like, oh. But I don't know. It's one of those things like it's not fair for the entire thing. Mostly when you have this is actually a well-staffed subman like supervisors. There's 7, more than enough to cover everything. But
God damn,
6 of them don't want
more 7.
But 6 of them do not even want to close at all.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
it's fucked up on so many levels. Like, get over yourselves. You have to help close. We all have to. Honestly, I'm only getting my skills up for learning all the departments and all the ways, so I know how to help if I need to be trained. And hey, I'm kind of increasing my value a little bit more, y'all.
Anyways, jumping back to the airline thing. So there's the other one. So Delta Airlines offers $10,000 to passengers willing to give up their seats on overbooked domestic flights. We just talked about how they're canceling flights, but they're also overbooking, which Makes no fucking sense.
So they do this a lot.
Oh,
They do this a lot.
They were doing this before the
like
pandemic.
way before the pandemic. They always upsell, so they have enough booking of the seats and make sure they're. But then they have, sometimes it almost will trigger another flight too. Sometimes, so airlines go, oh, well, we have like 20 people who can fit on this next flight. We'll just bump them a next half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, to this next flight. So when they changed, what's the word? So when they do have overbooked or oversold flight, they will bump them to this next flight because then they create another flight, which will create more money, obviously. So, yeah.
Let's see here. Passengers aboard a recent Delta airline flight departing Gerald R. Ford International Airport in Grand Rapids, Michigan, were treated to a tempting offer of $10,000 for getting off the plane. That's a good chunk of money. I'm like, it's probably like
I would do it, honestly.
It's credit, right? But it's still $10,000 in credit for Delta. Let's see, where am I? Let's see. Inc. magazine Jason Atone wrote a personal account of the event, which he claims took place aboard of a connecting flight he and his family boarded for Minneapolis. And I got this. According to
no, you don't.
We're live. Don't tell anyone. Let's see here.
Already told.
According to the carrier announced the flight had been oversold, and 8 volunteers stood to receive the $10,000 each in cash. Oh, it is cash. Holy shit! No, it's.
I mean, come on, it's cash. I'm like in my hand, cash.
No, if it's cash,
Give me the money.
I'm taking the cash. There's no taxes on cash. Fuck yeah. Oh, or electronic payments. Fuck electronic payments. Give me that cash money. Fuck yeah.
I'm going off grid, bitch.
If you had an Apple Pay, you have the money right now. Fuck. Okay, what is it, girls? We did not take it for reasons I'm not going into because my wife is still not pleased about it. It is one of those things. Like, I get it. It's like there's money, but if you're planning something, like, I don't blame the individual for, like, you had plans. You have a place to go. So, Tom.
Yeah, especially. I get it. I know there's a lot of. Of course, they do that to me sometimes. I'm like, oh no, I need to get on this flight. I'm going home. I have to work the next day.
Exactly. Other passengers aboard the plane has since corroborated a tense story regarding the outsized offer. Ooh, that's okay. The crumb told Fortune, Christine Mew, that the carrier initially offered $5,000 to passenger before bumping the figure to $7,000, then eventually to $10,000. Ooh, that's pretty good. You had to hold out. Imagine
$10,000 in my hand. I'd be like, hell yeah, give it to me. Okay, that makes sense. I'll do that. I'll find another way home.
Imagine if you were one of the first people that just took the 5,000 and not the 10.
Oh, I would be so butthurt. Fuck, I should have held out.
And then, unfortunately, my wife has some health issues and cannot travel alone. Oh, he would have stayed back. Actually, if it was your mom, you and Ursula, would you stay back for $10,000?
I think my mom would.
Oh, there you go.
No, I would just figure it out, Ursula, in another situation. I have connections. I can make things work.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
I would. Like, I have family and I have friends, and I have, people who do
$10,000 a piece. That's 20 G's.
I know. Great if you put Ursula because she's technically holds a seat.
So, anyways,
they'll be like, sorry, I can't come to work. The flight was oversold and I got bumped. Which is true.
Delta spokesman refused to confirm or deny that the $10,000 cash offer. It is kind of sketchy when it's cash. I can see why. The ability to provide compensation empowers our employees to take care of our customers and get our aircraft out on time. What else? Is there anything else? The leaked memo. Okay. Encourage attendants to start at a lower compensation and increase if necessary. There it is. After
Yeah.
canceling hundreds of flights over the previous weeks, Delta Airlines on Sunday announced a temporary fare change waiver ahead of the 4th of July weekend, which is, as far as this recording, for anyone here is live, tomorrow is the 4th of July. And to anyone who's listening to this in the future, I hope you guys had a great 4th of July if you're in the States, and anyone else outside the States. Well, America's still screwed. So
Yeah, I know.
we have
We're
to.
still fucked.
So we gotta ignore stuff with blowing up shit. Let's see here.
I definitely will be blowing up some shit.
I'll be at work, sadly.
I'll be blowing it up for you,
Thank
and I'll be
you.
drinking for you. How's that? I'm surprised they even got off this year, considering in the last 2 years.
You know, my siblings and my brother-in-law got a 3-day weekend just because it's on a Monday. So,
A lot of places do.
yeah, the
Like,
only
son of
reason
a
is because
bitch.
their boss.
Even my bosses are like, they got 3 days off. I'm like, fuck you.
Mostly
Some
because
actually took it off.
it was mostly because they knew they were gonna be drinking and they didn't want them to be coming into work. So like, just don't go too hard.
I know, right?
I wish I could
Don't
do
go too
that.
hard. I have to work the next day. So, and with the being straight a pharmacist, I think I will be up to more in my par.
Oh, actually, we have a fun chat. So,
What's the chat said?
from Joshua, thank you for being with us. He says, "I'm going to book a random flight and hope they offer me cash to unbook it." That's not a bad idea.
He's onto something. He's onto something.
Yeah,
You got to do Delta though, because that was the Delta Airlines. We know that. We don't know about anybody else. So, FYI, Josh, do that. Do that.
so yeah, you got to do Delta. The only thing here's the risky part, is making sure it's a flight that is overbooked. You gotta find flights.
Oh, you gotta find your connections, y'all. I would give off my connection, but I don't think she'll be pleased.
It's one of those things where you have to know which are the flights that are like this is the flight that's gonna have too many people on it.
You're gonna say Vegas, anything that's coming up on like the West Coast, East Coast, Hawaii. That's another one. So you want to think about those people that are gonna generally go somewhere that it's more like populated. Like
And
Chicago
also-
would be a good one too.
And also ones where people are going in families too, because there's just chunks. You can't separate the family, right? So just buy one ticket.
Yeah.
And so you gotta, like, it's not a bad idea. It's, I don't know, like a couple of extra grand here and there. Kind of like how people who give plasma. I think it's plasma, right? Instead of giving away plasma, you just take your time to buy tickets, airline tickets, and hope they get unbooked. The only thing is that you have to be careful if you're going straight with Delta for a while. Like, why does this one single person keep buying tickets?
Yes, you gotta do it like sporadically. So like once a month at least.
Yeah,
So
once a
we
month.
can't-
Once a month is very sketchy. Like, well, every other month, or yeah.
But this is only for the summer, so you have to kind of catch it once a month, man.
Well, summer and holidays.
Oh, true. But hold on, it didn't take the holidays on that one, so.
But they do get overbooked.
Oh.
So I would say like Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July,
New
Memorial
Year's.
Day, New Year's. Those are like your big ticket like money makers. Like if I had the time, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, you could. But,
Good thinking, Josh. We appreciate you.
okay, let's jump into another story here. Let's see
Okay,
here.
which one do we want to go to? There's so many of them.
There is. See here.
Vasectomies, you got
Ooh, this one.
goring.
We're talking
One.
about pay and stuff. The guy who got paid 330
Oh, yeah, that one. I posted that one. That was fun.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you read.
I gotta find it. Oh, there it is. Hold on.
Go for it. I wish I got paid accidentally that way. I think
I know, right? I'd be like, bye.
I think we talked about a lady who accidentally got paid like $1.2 million and fucked it up.
Yes, we did. We did recently.
But anyways, go for this one.
All right. Worker who was accidentally paid 330 times his salary offers resignation and vanishes without a trace, report says. That is great. That is great. An unnamed Chilean worker resigned and became uncontactable after he was paid approximately 330 times his salary due to the payroll blunder, according to a report. The dispatch assistant received 165,398,851 Chilean pesos, which is about $180,418 US dollars. And his monthly paycheck from the cold meats manufacturer CIA Alimentos on May 30th. The Santiago-based financial newspaper Diario Financiero reported he was only owed about 500,000 Chilean pesos, which is $545. The newspaper said the worker approached the deputy manager of his distribution center, notifying them that he received 330 times his owed salary. Diario Financiero reported. The deputy manager reported this to the Human Resources Department, who noted the error and asked the reporter to go to his bank to initiate the return of the excess money. No. He promised to go the next day, but Diario Financiero reported that he did not return the money and ignored calls and WhatsApp messages from the CIA Alimentos for 3 days. The worker then offered his resignation in a letter via sent his attorney per Diario Financiero. The newspaper said he has not heard from since. Fuck. I don't know. It continues. The company has filed a criminal complaint against the worker, per the newspaper, but no arrests have been made. The former employee is accused of misappropriating funds in the complaint.
So this Chilean law. Chilean law is completely different from American law. So I have no idea how their financial system works, and how they deal with all these like financial litigation stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I can only imagine, for us in America, where there might be a way to keep a good chunk of the money, like you were paid. Like,
no, I was overpaid once, and I had to repay back slave way.
Yes, let me look it up.
It sucked. I was like, son of a bitch.
Like, how were you paid 330 times the amount?
No, it was only like an extra couple $100. But it was like, I was liking it. I was like, screw it, that's a nice paycheck. I'm keeping it. No, that's not. It was a pay in error. You got to pay it back. I'm like, I deliberately made it like in smaller increments just for pissed off people.
Okay, here we go. There's an article about being overpaid. Can employers take back wages from overpaid employees? Both federal legislations like the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, and the state labor and employment laws give employers to recover an overpayment in full. Oh, okay, so they can't. What's required? Yeah, you would have to go into hiding if you got paid.
Dude, honestly, I don't even know why you pointed it out. I'd be like, here's my resignation, bye.
Yeah, you would need to, like, honestly, if I got paid a good, like, 180,000 is not worth quitting.
It's not worth quitting, but for Chile, probably
for Chile,
it's probably like almost millionaire status to them.
So what would be your dollar amount? Like, I just got this much, I need to leave. Like, how much would you?
Probably $1 million.
Million?
I can figure it out.
I would need, I think, minimum 3 million minimum. Yeah, so because I would have to pull all the money out. They would track you.
You can't pull it all at once. That's a fucked up part.
That's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. But there's ways to do it.
You only have a certain amount with each bank.
Exactly. So I would have to move it around, crypto it, stocks it, just hide it everywhere. Make it hard for anything.
Overseas account, you could say, "Oh, I think I got it. I don't. Oh, it looks like it came to my account, but then it disappeared."
So,
Overseas account. Overseas it, man.
but yeah,
Great. Then take off the next flight for the next.
but yeah, for sure it would be one of those times where I usually, yeah, I would. That would be my cap. Like if I somehow ended up with 3 mil, that would be my. I'm done. I'm leaving. Bye.
Not even saying anything. Just like, here's my resignation. Bye. And get on your passport and go into the airport. Straight to the airport.
Because you need that's a for me for what I would need to do to get rid of everything. Yeah, because everything would get seized, right? My house, my vehicles, and everything too. So I would need to do everything within probably a couple days. So
8 hours SW2.
So that lady, the lady who made the so dumb. She just what else? What other stories? So yeah, let's talk about this one because it's so crazy. It's right up our alley because it's always in a. It's from today, from Bizarro.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I actually saw that kind of heading up.
Did you actually see?
I see some of these TikTok videos. Like, what the fuck?
So I'm first. You are all the TikToks you send me. You are in some weird part of TikTok. I have no idea how you.
It's not my fault. I'm a weirdo. I'm a creep.
Bizarro OnlyFans headlines are filling the Jerry Springer voice. So what we're
I know, right?
Yeah, it feels like it, right?
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is let's see here, the most scandalous, stupid tabloid story of the last few. We just found out we're siblings, but we're still dating. So this is a TikTok where two women post and say that they found out that might be half sister, right? And,
look a lot of relate.
And that they're just still dating. And I'm like, what? Okay, what? Because there's been times where you hear stories of like people who have who are like sent to adoption agencies just and never see their other siblings, and then they somehow end up dating them. Like, holy shit! You just never know.
Yeah, I know. It's like it happens, and or the guy had an affair but didn't say anything to anybody about it, and
they have a secret half.
Just went off.
Have a secret half sibling somewhere out there.
Well, that's actually happened recently. Well, not recently, but it's happened to one of my family. Extended family, because they're not really in my family, but it happened to their family. They found out they had a half sibling, like one of those DNA charts things. They're like, oh yeah, I'm your half sibling, and yeah, I know your dad, and your dad had me before he met your mom. Blah blah blah.
So here's the thing. The thing is, this is TikTok. There's only one reason they're doing this, right?
To get the lines, get the feed.
The what?
They're getting for the line, for the header, the feed, the excitement,
Because when you look deeper into their content, they have a shared OnlyFans account, so you just start diving into their content and like, oh,
I didn't go looking in depth in that. I just saw it popped up and people were like, what the Alabama shit is this?
No, yeah, like it might not even, they might have just said it, because people are just gonna look because people are talking about it. They might not be really. They're just people are like, it's just a story they made up. It could just be that, and they have a shared OnlyFans account. People are gonna go and check out their account because if they're not, we're just gonna check it. That's and that's not the first, there's other stories like that, like the teacher who got pregnant by one of her students, and she says she's keeping the baby. Then there's that one grandma who's 61 and she has a younger husband who's 24, and they already have a baby.
I heard that. Oh yeah, but I also heard that he's gay too now.
He can be whatever he wants.
That's what my daughter said. I'm like, what? I haven't found it recently on my TikTok lately, but I haven't been really on TikTok too.
According to both the post and the links in their TikTok bio, the couple shares an OnlyFans account called Not Your Average Sisters with a Z. The original video is designed to entirely for virtuality, you know, they're just trying to get viral. And the video women do look alike and have absolutely no means of knowing whether or not their claim is true. So they don't have to prove or anything. They just like, we might be. And it's just one of those things. It's like just trying to. And look, there's a TikTok of them like taking DNA tests and stuff like that. Like they're just using clout. It's just clout chasing, you know. And if you want to do it, do it. You know, whatever gets you that cash, right?
I know, right? Jesus, man, it's crazy.
Because
Some of it.
What?
Just some of it is just crazy. That's all. Yeah, it is like a feed of like the old Maury and Jerry Springer episodes. I don't even know if Jerry Springer's still on, to tell you the truth.
I don't know either. Well, we can look it up really quick. But
I know Maury is no longer on there, so.
But it's that thing where like, where do you draw the line, right? Like, how much are you into clout chase and stuff like that? It's just like. But at the end of the day, like, if you're not really hurting anyone, like, you know, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, try to get that right now. Try to get as much money as you can.
2 minutes of fame.
In this day and age, it's like not even 2 minutes. It's like 10 seconds. Because there's always something happening. There's always something happening next. Not this. It's another thing. But you know, more power to them. I'm gonna subscribe to it, find out, do some investigation, see if it's true or not.
Investigation.
Well, I'm gonna be using the podcasting funds, and I'll get back to you guys once I do my reporting. Sound good, everyone?
He started his OnlyFans page, FYI.
Yes, subscribe for the exclusive podcast content.
There's so many things out there.
What is this one? The Florida woman story.
Oh yeah,
Let's do the Florida woman story, and then we'll do the. You can always love Florida.
I know, right? They always have good stories, right?
All right, I'll let you read that while I get the other thing ready.
All right. Vegan Florida mother convicted of starving toddler to death with strict raw fruits vegetable diet.
Wait, what? Read that again?
Vegan Florida mother convicted of starving toddler to death with strict raw fruits vegetable diet. Vegan mother Shirley O'Leary fed her child only raw fruits, vegetables, and breast milk. Vegan mother is facing life in prison for murdering her 18-month-old child who starved to death on a strict raw fruit and vegetable diet. Florida jury convicted Shirley O'Leary, 39, on the Wednesday for the first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, aggravated manslaughter, child abuse, and 2 counts of child neglect and the death of her son, Ezra.
Okay,
Ezra, wait.
Okay. So she only fed 18 months. I'm trying to think. 1.5-year-old?
Yeah.
Breast?
Definitely a toddler.
How did she starve it to death? Like, okay, so you have it says breast milk. For a second I thought she wasn't giving the baby breast milk. But they'll probably explain more, right? But just reading this,
I'm assuming she's vegan too, so she's probably only getting that kind of diet too.
Yeah, because
so
of the nutrition she gets from her food metabolizes
in the breast milk, which passes on.
And she just wasn't getting the nutrients to pass along. I was like, how the fuck did she fuck it up? Like, because she was giving her the raw fruits. Well, raw fruits. Okay, fruits. Okay, vegetables. I don't know about vegetables. I can't eat raw vegetables myself as an adult. I'll be honest. I mean, carrots I can. I don't think I can. There's no other vegetable I would eat raw. Oh, we got another person in chat. What's up?
You doing?
But yeah, I generally don't think Is there any raw vegetables you would eat? Like the only one I think is
I
carrots.
can't eat eggplant raw. I still can't eat it cooked either. I can't eat mushrooms raw or cooked.
So what can you eat raw,
Uh,
vegetable wise?
broccoli, carrots,
Yeah.
celery, cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage,
Other one,
cabbage and lettuce.
cabbage, lettuce, bell peppers, mini peppers. Let's see, avocados. If you if you're on that spec, I don't know.
Yeah,
Add some more
yeah.
fruit.
Okay, so there is a couple, but fruit wise, yeah. So yeah, I can see. So let's continue reading. See, I don't like honestly reading this. Like, how do you fuck it up though?
So Ezra weighed 17 pounds, 7 pounds below average. He died in his sleep in 2019.
Oh, a
Damn.
while ago. Okay.
Following Ezra's death, Sheila and her husband Ryan told authorities that the family followed a strict vegan diet limited only to raw fruits and vegetables and breast milk, according to news press. At the time of Ezra's death, the 3 other children, all under the age of 11, were suffering from malnutrition and dehydration.
How do you fuck that one
Oh.
up? How do you fuck up dehydration? Just give him water. That one, oh my god. Continue.
Well, you can, but you still need other nutrition to not be dehydrated. Like you need potassium, magnesium, So you would think like an electrolyte balance.
Why weren't you eating bananas and water? Anyways, continue. Sorry, it's just so fucking stupid. Like, come on.
O'Leary told detectives that her son did not eat for a week and that he was having trouble sleeping at the night prior to his death. During the Lee County trial on Wednesday, prosecutor Francine, oh god, I'm mutilate this, Donna Rumo, a special victims unit. Victims unit chief of the state attorney's office used O'Leary's Google searches at the time of Ezra's health decline as evidence against her. Donna Rumo emphasized Ezra's condition was chronic as O'Leary's failed to provide her child with food and health care, according to the news press. This was a thought-out plan, course out of action, Donna Rumo said. Ignorance is not a defense in this case. Defense attorney Lee Hollander then addressed the jury, showing photos of Sheila and Ezra. Does that look like a mom who wants to kill her kid? Hollander asked. Just because it happened doesn't mean she committed a crime.
Good question. That is a good question. That is a good question. Like, when is it a point where you have to give up your beliefs for people's health? Like, I don't think she was intended to kill her baby. We can admit that, right? Or do you think so?
Read further.
No, like I said, that's before, before reading.
I honestly, I honestly want to say, like, this kid was obviously suffering. She was Googling. She should have gotten him health,
Oh, wait, okay, continue
to
reading.
a hospital or doctor's office. You know what I mean?
Okay, continue reading. Maybe you read something ahead that...
In closing arguments, co-prosecutor Sarah Miller and assistant state attorney addressed jurors and indicted the crime was not that Ezra died in his sleep, but that O'Leary refused to get her child medical help. She chose to disregard Ezra's suffering, Miller said. Sheila O'Leary faces sentence later this month. Ryan O'Leary, 33, indicted at the same charges and expected to stand trial later this year.
Okay, so there's the other part. Yeah, okay, so at first I'm like... But then, like, there's a point where you seek help. Like, so something's wrong. You go to see the doctor. Unless they didn't have health care.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of people have state plans nowadays, if not. So, and certainly a lot of hospitals are nonprofits. So, like my hospital, if you can only afford $1 a month, that's all you can afford. At least you're paying it off.
God damn it! Why did I go to your hospital? So fucking dead. This is to this day. I still will hate hospitals. Like, I should have just suffered.
I know, but
I should have just suffered like I normally do, and I would have came out okay. I just gave up this one time. I'm in debt. I'm not debt, but it's annoying to pay the amount of money. Anyways, continue. That's just my grambling.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that I think if you're honestly can't deprive kids. Kids need sustenance and meat. protein is a really important part of
should've just
their
ate- she
nutritional
should've-
growing, especially mentally too, for their brain. They're not getting enough anything. So what supplements was this kid getting? It's
She
probably
should have
getting no
got.
supplements.
She should have been eating more cabbage. That was her fault. She should have just, if she would have done it right. It doesn't seem she was a very smart vegan. That's the problem here. Like, if you, like, honestly, it's not like it's impossible. Like, I'm not defending vegan, but there are ways to, like, live a healthy way that way. But it doesn't sound like she was just smart.
I'm not saying there isn't, but
she just wasn't smart.
But children should not have to oblige by that family lifestyle, because they don't work the same way. We all need our protein, our nutrition at that age, and especially younger, because you're still developing. So they might have fucked up the other kids who are still alive, because mentally they're not getting all the nutritional value or anything of that nature. So yeah, I'm just saying. I think
He fucked up.
they
both fucked up.
They really did.
Like, there's a point where they had a chance to go check on, like, just go to the doctor and it's like, oh, okay, we can fix this. Mostly when a child.
And I think that child should have symptoms like a year prior to that. So I mean,
well, even when the baby stopped eating for a day or two, like, that something is up. It kind of happened with my nephew. He just wouldn't eat for like a day, and everyone was freaking out. Then he ate the next day, but it's one of those. But they still contacted the doctor later that evening just because he wasn't eating anything. And the doctor said sometimes it happens, and call in tomorrow if he still doesn't. Like, one of those things you just kind of have to. You have to take the what's the word?
Precautions.
Yeah, precautions. Okay.
You're a concerned parent. That's a good parent. You know what I mean? That parent was like, I don't see a problem here. You're not eating. It's okay.
Bruh. Not a single fuck was given this day.
Exactly. So, let's jump into the closing parts. You know what? God damn it, we completely forgot about the contest again.
I told you. So.
Oh God! If you guys
we love you guys. If you're still listening.
For anyone who's listening live, thank you for listening live. So there we have our 5-year anniversary giveaway going on right now. There's going to be a link below where you just fill it out really quick and be put in a raffle. We'll be doing once we pull the raffle, we're gonna what the prizes are is five second place winners are each gonna get one custom tie-dye tee signed by me and Liz, and one grand prize winner is gonna get a signed custom tie-dye tee signed by us, a custom tie-dyed hoodie, and one of our pint glasses. So that's our grand prize winner. So in total, there's going to be 6 winners. Or was it 5? No, wait. I think we said 4. 5 winners. 5 winners.
1 major and 4.
Oh, that's what it is. So anyone's listening, listening right now. It's 4 second place winners.
You can't count this morning.
It's a long.
He's worked overnight.
So 4 first place winners, 1 grand prize winner for a total of 5. Simple, easy. Just fill out the form. All it is, your name, size of your shirt and hoodie, and you might get a chance to win it. Submissions end on the July 17th. So make sure you sign in. We're gonna pull the raffle, and then we'll probably do a live stream from the office, tie-dyeing all the shirts to have some fun. Make sure we sign them all and get them all nice and neat for you guys. It's fun, and then we'll probably get to do our own custom shirt just for ourselves.
Sweet.
But yeah. What else? Oh yeah. Anything else to? I hope you guys are enjoying the live show before we jump into the Am I the Asshole story. And if you're listening to this on any of the podcasting platforms, come join us live. Like I said, follow us on either Facebook, Instagram. Those are like the 2 spots where I'll post it. I'll try to post it, or subscribe on YouTube. But this is on the Tyrant Dominus YouTube channel. Just subscribe. We'll have that ready for you, and you just be ready. Yeah, either Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's how you'll get on to be live during the next episode. And yeah, we're gonna be trying to do it for July, and seeing if, depending on how well we this month goes, we might continue doing live shows. If not, well, we tried it. You know, there's been a few people who've been wanting to do it. Yep. So we're gonna do Are We the Assholes? So we're gonna roll the dice to see which one for this week. Ooh, the number 1.
Ooh. Dun, dun,
okay,
dun.
I'll post it in the chat.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
While you get that loaded up, am I the asshole for throwing them out of my house that we own?
Ooh.
Son and future in-laws decide to exclude his family from wedding. They thought son owned the house, not us. Oh. Okay.
This is getting good. Juicy.
Okay. Continue. I'm just checking chat. My wife and I bought a 4-bedroom house in Pennsylvania, I'm guessing. That my son lives in. Our son went to college in Pennsylvania and wanted to stay in the area, so we bought the house as a second home. We live in New Jersey and commute into Manhattan for work. We figured that he would have a place to live and we could visit every so often and spend some quality time together. Yeah, okay. We pay the taxes and service and maintenance on the house, and our son pays for his groceries and the house utilities. Okay, that sounds respectable, right? All was going well for a few years. Okay. Our son meets a girl and they get serious. Normal. We met her and she seemed nice. She seemed nice enough. That sounds good. They announce their engagement and she moves into the house with her son. Okay, so far so good. They seems like reasonable parents. Letting their son stay, basically stay in one of their second homes.
Almost for free, practically.
Almost for free. Just gotta make sure it stays, up to date and quality. There might be some other arrangements, right? But for the most part, it sounds crystal. Now ready? Now for the problem, the wedding. Do I have a dun?
I know you
do. Okay. We hold a little get to know you barbecue at the Pennsylvania house. My son and daughter are there, as are our son's fiance and her parents and sisters. Okay. We all seem to be getting along well. My wife, daughter, and fiance go into the house along with her mother and sister and my son. A few minutes later, my wife and daughter come out and are really upset. They come over and tell me we're leaving and driving back to New Jersey. I tried to find out what happened. Once we get back to New Jersey, they calm down. They tell me that our son and his fiance, along with her family, don't want us at the wedding.
What?
According to what I was told, we're not their kind of people. Whoa. I was livid. I called my son and asked him what the WTH? What the hell? Really? Okay. This was about. He tells me that her family feels that we are not good enough and embarrass them at the family wedding, and that we're all uninvited from the wedding. What the fuck? I let a week go by to calm myself down and drive back to Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania house and the new future in-laws are in the house along with the fiance. It appears they all moved into the house. They ask me why I'm there, and I tell them since we aren't invited to the wedding, I'm coming over to talk to my son. They tell me to leave their house. I lost it. Told them that they had 30 days to get out and tell my son I'm selling the house. He could find somewhere else to live with all of you. I go to a retailer in town and list the house for sale. They call my son at work and tell him what I said. Apparently, they thought that he owned the house. He calls me and asks me why I'm selling the house. I tell him I paid for it all along, and with the taxes on it, it's mine. He was living there rent-free, but since he doesn't want us in his new life, he has to get out. I tell him the same I told his future in-laws, that they have 30 days to get out. Then I'll get a lawyer and get them evicted. Am I the asshole for taking a hard stance on this? He is my son, but the in-laws seem to take over, and we have no longer. Okay, so before we go into the comments,
Ooh, yeah. Not the asshole. Family was obviously the assholes because they basically said, "Oh, you're not welcome to the house. You're not welcome to the wedding. Yada yada. Your son owns this house. No, 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 no. He's been living there pretty much rent free, as I was saying earlier. I called that, and I don't think so. Putting his stance down shouldn't be, told he can't be at his own house because it's his name on it. He's paying for the taxes. He's paying for the mortgage. He's paying for it all. So, except for what? The groceries and the utilities. So, therefore, his line, I don't know if the son even knows what took place, but it sounds like he is informed that, oh yeah, that's how it's going. Oh, yeah, the in-laws we're in for a real shock when they find out his son's not the owner. Sucker.
So here's my thing is it's a pretty bold move. I won't deny that, but the father had like a week. He took a week to cool off. That's a lot. There's a lot of people who would just like go head first in something like this. So there was a week. There was a week's period of time where the son could have called and like apologized, had talked to the in-laws, settled the matter. One entire week. Oh, that's what we're being told, right? And nothing was done, and he just let it continue. It's kind of one and done on this one. It's nothing really more to say.
He was going with a clear head. He was, he let the anger boil, subsided. He took the time. It wasn't like a rush decision. It was that at that point where the family was like, get out of our house. Well, that's not his house. It's not my house. I own this house. You get evicted. Bye. So I think that's where that family is the asshole. I think they were seeing dollar signs on the son. They were like, oh, maybe we can isolate him from his family and we can take over his life, and his finances, what I mean. That's what I particularly am seeing right now in my head.
It's what you're thinking. Yeah, it's kind of one of the comments down below. What kind of people do they think you are? How was your son okay with excluding his whole family? Do you think your son's been brainwashed by his fiance? How do you think he thinks the house was his when he didn't pay the taxes on it? So many questions. Yeah, it's one of those things where I just don't think his son was very smart to be.
Oh.
And he just got played, and sounds like his fiance was not the wiser. He just didn't. She probably never asked her, or he probably said, "Yeah, this is my place."
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
we all say that.
Here's a good quote. You do not need a lawyer in 30 days. You need one now. I'm not familiar with Pennsylvania tenant laws, etc., but you need to follow everything by the book so they can't contest anything. I would also go back and videotape with some timestamps the entire property inside and out so they can't be held accountable for damage. Yeah, that's another thing. We don't know how. That's a thing when dealing with the housing market and renting out places, you got to be careful with damages. Because you just never know. Some tenant laws are better than others depending on the state.
I love this comment. They all moved into your house? That's so bizarre. Tell them that they're not your kind of people, aka squatters.
Oh.
I don't like them either. They're not my kind of people either.
Some people, I always find it so crazy when we read these stories of people trying to exclude other people. Like, why make trouble? Just when you just. That's the thing. Crazy. It's one of those things. It's like, I don't know how it is for your guys' family, but for the most part, we always try to like integrate everyone, like with like everyone's culture into our time when it comes to.
You've said that in the past.
Yeah, like with my brother-in-law and then my younger sister's boyfriend, we have their families over. Sometimes they don't like how we handle things, but that's kind of how we do stuff, and whether they like it or not, that's up to them. And then we try to integrate into their stuff, because that's all we can do. Like, it's not like we're gonna like say no, because unless it's like completely horrible. There is a level, right? But
yeah, there's a line,
where it shouldn't be crossed, and I understand that. There's lines where we cross with our traditions and stuff, like, so you gotta really be careful with, depending on what it is, stuff, because it all depends on culture and stuff like that. And but for the most part, it's just seeing how people handle these things. And it sounds like this one was just so fucking.
Yeah, no kidding. If this was like a same dynamic of my sister who's getting married soon, this would be quite an interesting thing, considering that he moved into my family's building at the time. It's no longer our family's building anymore, but my uncle sold it. So yeah, boo. But he had done the same thing to my sister. I think I would have been like, yeah, I think I would almost be like, yeah, get out. We own this building, not you, kind of thing. So
yeah, you for the most part, you have to put your foot down in situations like you have to, because if not, this situation was just bonkers to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more to say on this one. The dad was not the asshole. The family was crazy. He should have, more than anything, they should be lucky. They should have been lucky they had a family that was willing to take them in. They had a place and they fucked it up. They had a gold mine and they lost it.
Yep, they did. I wonder how long that relationship's gonna last now.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Or in that case, if he's so brainwashed, that how long the son's gonna be gone from the picture.
True. So, anyways, everyone, thank you for catching our live show. If you're here live, if you're listening to this on either the VOD or if you're listening to this on the podcast platforms, thank you for listening. So, look forward to the rest of July, catching more of our live shows, seeing how well it does, and if we continue doing it, we'll try to figure out a schedule and stuff like that, and we'll talk more outside and see what happens. But anyways, thanks again for listening. Until next time, see ya.
Bye.